Hello, everyone. Yes, you're welcome to another live session. So, guys, I just want to quickly give you guys some of the updates, concerning this very topic that we discussed yesterday. So, Nigerians are doing their best, to ensure they are informed. We don't want to sit in the dark, especially concerning this particular case, because if we are informed and then the judges didn't give us justice, it will be easy for us to like come out to make our case to say we didn't expect them to rule this way. So, like we all know what happened at the tribunal, we'll be heading to the Supreme Court. It is good we understand all these things. And, we already know that Atiku is taking a very bold step to get some information, about the sitting president from the United States University of Chicago. So he has gone on this and he's still on it. And, so many things have been unfolding lately. We all know that the FBI, like I showed you guys yesterday, has come out to say that they are going to be releasing this information that Nigerians have been waiting to see. So you can see what I have on the screen there. David Hundeyin is saying, earlier this year, I sued 5 US government agencies in conjunction with Aaron Greenspan of Plainsight for their refusal to honor FOIA's request regarding the content of the files they maintain on Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This is coming from David Hundeyin. He went ahead to say, on Friday, I was informed that they will comply with the FOIA. So you can, when you look down there, you see just in FBI announces plan to start releasing 2,500 documents on Bola Tinubu from October. So, guys, yes, this is one of the things that our Atiku is working on. He's pressing on getting some information, as he wants to clear the air. He wants everybody to know exactly what happened when it comes to our sitting president, when he went to the University of Chicago to study there, because we've had this controversy of, having a female gender on his certificate. We also have this issue of having a different name, from his name. And last time I showed you guys these 2 different certificates that were having different fonts, the number of signatories on the 2 of them were different. And there were so many things, so many controversies, there were so many contradictions. There were so many arguments as to which of these results or which of this certificate was actually his own. Somebody might be saying, okay, the tribunal has ruled on this. Why bring up this topic? Don't forget, we are going to the Supreme Court. And at the Supreme Court, you can't just say that they are filing an appeal. And in the process of filing that appeal, they might add some things to support what they already have at the tribunal, what they submitted at the tribunal. And that is what Atiku is really working hard to accomplish. He is pressing on the United States, and the FBI came out shockingly to say that they will start releasing documents they told people and they told the entire world that they were not ready to release. Now they want to start releasing it. So we see this as a welcome development, if not for any other thing, so that everybody will just go and rest. This matter will be put to rest. Even the sitting president himself will have his peace, assuming this document is released and he doesn't have anything to hide. It would be good for him to just, allow them to do what they want to do, and then he will have his peace. The Nigerian people will also have their peace. But if we keep hiding information, then people will keep, insinuating. People will keep there will be a lot of speculations. People will be saying things they are not very sure. So it's really, really good that we are seeing all these things happening. And you can see that David Hundeyin, like he stated here, that he went as far as suing 5 US government agencies on this issue. We all know that he's an investigative journalist. So he's good at, unraveling things, as in exposing things that some people want to hide. He's really good at that. So he has gone on this matter even throughout the campaign and even after the election. and you can see that justice is about to be served, because the United States themselves, they are willing to release this information. But shockingly, I showed you guys this yesterday, that the FBI announces plan to start releasing 2,500 documents. So I was like, 2,500 documents for one person, or is it for 2 or 10 persons? I think this is huge, honestly. I'm just wondering what will be the content of this document, because we all are interested to know. We all want to know exactly what and what are contained in this document that they want to show the world. So the sitting president himself has come out to say that he shouldn't be blamed. He shouldn't be blamed, that he shouldn't be faulted for having a female gender on his certificate. You can see what I have there on the screen. Article trying to back me. Chicago University document showing I was female, not my fault. Tinubu begs US judge. So guys, I don't know. I don't even understand this. Does it mean that he wasn't aware that his document was bearing this female gender? And if he was it not better for him to have fixed this even before coming to vie for the position of the presidency? So this is one of the reasons why people can still not understand the kind of ruling we got from our judges. You know, they painted the respondents, they painted them very good, as in everything. INEC did a perfect job. That Tinubu and Shetima, there is no cause for alarm on their part. While they pushed all the blames, on the petitioners, the people that came to court to seek for justice. They were like, the languages that were used, and even the way the judgment was read, people have come out to condemn it. And then the way they were like, bombarding the petitioners, that alone has called for concern, as if they just came as partisans, as in taking a position to support a particular party. That was what we saw. But I want to tell you guys that we'll be heading at the Supreme Court. I know so many people have lost faith in our judiciary because of this last ruling that the tribunal gave. So many people are saying that if you still go to the Supreme Court, it is the same thing you are going to get, because hardly the Supreme Court, rules against what the tribunal had initially. So many people have concluded that it's going to be the same thing. But for me, I'm having confidence, guys. I'm really having confidence that the Supreme Court wants to look into all these matters, because they are huge. For somebody to say that I am a female, my certificate is bearing female while I am a male, and then you didn't see need for you to fix that for years. And then now you are telling us that it is never your fault. Possibly it is the fault of the university, or I don't know, whosoever is to be blamed. But why wasn't that fixed before submitting your documents to INEC, or before even coming out to show interest in this race? We are living in a world that each time one comes out to become a public servant, people want to know more about you. People want to understand everything, as in your years past. People want to get to know who you were, who you are today. And that is why people keep digging into all these certificates of a thing. And we are just hoping that the Supreme Court will not sweep all these things under the carpet, because Nigerians want to know. Nigerians want to know. So you can see Mr. Chidi saying that Nigerian justices have been compromising election judgment for incumbent presidents since 1979. Nigerians, this is not something we should just ignore. As in, meaning that right from time, our judiciary has not really found its feet to stand firm and say, no matter who you are in Aso Rock, we are going to deliver the judgment, a befitting judgment, the judgment that the Nigerian people, the masses, will welcome. So that brings me to the Supreme Court. Should we go to the Supreme Court? Are we going to expect justice? Is that what they will be serving to the Nigerian people, or is it going to be business as usual? Article trying to sandbag me. Chicago University document showing I was female, not my fault. He's telling the United States judge, it's not my fault. So whose fault it is? Whose fault is it that your document bears you are a female while you are a male? So many people have said, oh, he did not attend the university. It's possible. Yes, maybe he was admitted, or possibly he didn't finish the program. He didn't get the document, but he was able to get a certificate. There are so many speculations out there. We don't want to believe any of those. And that is why, personally, I'm in support of what Atiku is doing. Let him go through the court in the United States so that the court will mandate the university to release every document that they have. And then Nigerians will get to know, because for him to have finished from that university means that possibly he submitted his primary school, where he attended his primary school, his secondary school, and any other program that he finished before gaining this university. And then if actually he graduated from this university, Nigerians will also want to know. And this is what article is pressing on. Don't forget, they are in the process of filing an appeal against the ruling that was handed over to us at the tribunal. So article is like trying his best to press on the United States to release this information, and we've come to see that the FBI is somehow complying, because they were not ready to release this document. For them to just come up all of a sudden to say they will start releasing this document as soon as possible, that shows that something is really, building up. That shows that something is really building up, and we cannot but say this is a good move, because Nigerians want to know, if not for any other thing, the way the tribunal, the judges ruled in favor of the sitting president, many Nigerians are not comfortable with it. So if this document is released, I think that is going to also be a kind of another form of relief to the presidential candidates, and also to us Nigerians, because it will be clear that our judges did not take their time. Those that ruled in favor of the sitting president, it will show that they did not really serve the justice that Nigerians were expecting them to serve. We wanted them to rule on the 25% for the FCT. They've concluded that the FCT is just like any other state, meaning that from now onwards, assuming the Supreme Court upholds this ruling that the tribunal handed over to us, so from now onward, Abuja should be seen just like any other state, like Abia State or Lagos State or Ekiti State, any other state in Nigeria. That is how Abuja is going to be, meaning that we will start conducting elections, governorship elections and senatorial elections and all that in Abuja, because we all know that Abuja has a very unique status. But we didn't see them come out to affirm that, or to tell Nigerians that really Abuja is different. They included Abuja, in the 36 state, making it 37 states. And they saw it as a state. Nigerians, this ruling, personally, I don't think it was really what every patriotic Nigerian expected. But that was what we got from our judges. And we are hoping that the Supreme Court will correct all these anomalies, because if they are not corrected, it will be automatically laws, as in we'll be seeing them as part of the Constitution, because whatever the court rules and upholds remains a law. And that is why there is need for our judges at the Supreme Court not to look at parties, not to look at, the ruling party, not to look at the powers that be, not to look at, those of them that have monetary influence. We all know that the lead counsel for the APC is now the Minister of Justice. He's the one who is going to appoint those that are going to, preside over the Supreme Court. Honestly, he has strong, strong hand over them, strong influence over them. So we are just like praying that God will touch him, the Minister of Justice, to allow the justices to do justice to all these cases, because we must set Nigeria on a path of progress. Nigeria wants to be rebranded. Nigeria as a country is struggling to, get its image, the real image of Nigeria. Nigeria is a unique country, but we have leadership problem. And that was what this election was meant to correct. Somebody was saying that INEC collected billions on the basis of they wanted to add technology into this electoral process. But at the end of the day, the judges are telling us that INEC is not mandated, it's not compulsory for them to transmit results electronically. So meaning that all the money that was invested, in bringing technology into our electoral process were all wasted. I mean, all that we spent, we just ended up wasting it, because INEC is now saying that we did a good job. And the tribunal has told INEC, your job was perfect. You cannot blame INEC. Somebody said he's going to transmit electronically and finally discovered that he can no longer do it the way he thought he could. You don't blame the person. Remember, INEC didn't come out to tell Nigerians that, oh, we can't upload any longer. They just allowed whatever that happened that day to happen. And at the end of the day, they told us they had a glitch. So guys, these are some of the questions Nigerians keep asking. Why did the tribunal rule the way they ruled? As in, this is not all about Peter Obi. Let's just keep Peter Obi as a person by the side. Let's keep Atiku by the side. Let's wear that Nigerianness in us. Let's wear that patriotic Nigerianness, as a cloth, as a garment, and let's be truthful to ourselves. Check it yourself. Abuja, we were told that you must have won Abuja. You must win Abuja for you to be declared the president. But they said now Abuja is like any other state. They told us that the forfeiture in America that didn't affect him in any form. He forfeited, but they are saying that that forfeiture cannot affect his position as a president, or even prevent him from vying for that position. That's what the court was. It means that anybody can just go and commit anything at any time and just come tomorrow and say you want to become president. These are some of the things that this ruling was meant to fix, but we've not seen those things being fixed. And for INEC, it also shows that INEC can just give a guideline. Now, in the next 1 hour, INEC has the power, has the authority to change its mind and say, okay, we are not doing it again. Or I don't even care if the public is aware or not. Let's just do it the other way. So guys, honestly, each time I consider the judgment that was given to us, I keep wondering, does it mean that this influence is really that much for people to just change everything overnight? I mean, all the prayers of Peter Obi, none of them made one sense. None of those prayers made one sense. That those from Atiku's camp, none of them was meaningful. All of them were struck out. And INEC was rather being praised that they did a good job. And the sitting president was told that he won the election. So guys, I'm going to be playing this clip for you to listen to what Mr. Chidoka had got to say. He is a member of the PDP, but he has got some vital and important points to make as regards to the judgment that Nigerians got.
Interested in expanding the progress we've made in election management. I do not have difficulties. I do not have issues with them finding in favor of Tinubu as being duly elected. By their own logic, they can arrive at that conclusion if they want. But I didn't like that they talked down on the petitioners. Language was quite intemperate. The language, I was the star witness in the case in 2018. I didn't see this kind of talking down on the petitioners. I mean, it is the part of the electoral process for us to go to court instead of going to the streets. And to make it sound like the petitioners were frivolous and use such intemperate language, I was a little disturbed. Second one is that I'm ashamed as a Nigerian. Nigerians want to join BRICS: Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. I'll take 3 examples: Brazil, India, and South Africa are known democracies. Brazil conducted an election, and that election was a big election, and I will figure out how many people voted in that election. So in India, they had 911 million registered voters. Over 600 million people voted. 3.9 million machines were used for that election. Nobody went to court. Not one person. The Congress Party accepted the result. The world has moved on. Nobody goes to court anymore now for election. And there was a voter turnout of 67%. In the case of Brazil, there were 92,000 voting stations. There was 79% voter turnout. 79% in Brazil. And it was done with DRE machines. And there were some also paper machines involved. But in all that voting, the electronic system was subjected to public review. The political parties were present, and there was a public review. So the countries that are in the BRICS, they don't go to court after elections. The election management is such that people do not just go to court. The system is clear. So it is a shame. It's a shame that our judiciary did not have strong words for INEC. Now, let me tell you, three people issued reports on this election. IRI, NDI from the US, EU from Europe, and YEGA from Nigeria. In all their reports, YEGA said INEC did not meet public expectation. IRI said, despite positive expectations, election fell short. EU said, election exposed systemic weaknesses and therefore signals a need for further legal and operational reforms to enhance transparency inclusiveness. So instead of rambling about it, I was expecting the judiciary to be tough for INEC on that you don't need to create these ambiguities. If you created rules for the election, then follow the rules. It shouldn't be their headache whether it was the act said so or not. But by INEC telling everybody that this is the process, and there is something that I don't know if everybody is missing. In that election, the rule was that you will snap the result to the beavers and upload to the IRF. The idea is that when you get to the manual collation center at the ward, that the person in that collation center will verify the result you brought physically with the one that was uploaded. That is why if you go to the IRF, the result from Rivers State on the IRF is different from the result announced on the INEC website. If you tabulate the result on the beavers, on the some EC8As, with the one on the ward collation, then you will see the disparity. It happened in parts of Benue. Labour Party came up with that. PDP came with a strong case of failures in about almost 25,000 polling units where the rules were not followed. We listed those places and we came with an expert witness who tendered them. The court said no. That the expert witness, we should have put his witness statement on oath in the petition. But it was when we brought the case to court that the court gave us permission to go and inspect INEC material. It was the expert investigation report of the materials, inspection of the materials, that gave right to the witness statement on oath. So there was no way you could have said something you hadn't seen. INEC needed to give us certified true copies of results for us to verify that INEC stayed by its own regulations. So there were 9,000 cases of overvoting in the election. 9,000 cases. There were almost 15,000 cases of where the INEC presiding officers did not follow the rules.
As identified by the PDP.
As identified by the PDP.
How so the PDP was finding it difficult in the eye of this very trial court to prove this case with evidence.
So we came with an expert witness. But they said that the expert witness ought to have been put as part of the petition, the witness on oath. We subpoenaed him because we couldn't have done that without the man having to review the work of INEC. And we got only the power to review when the case started. So we couldn't have joined that with our petition.
One will imagine that there are copies of the result in several copies.
Yes.
The one for the agents, the INEC, and all what have you.
Yes.
And the PDP agents are privy to the copies, or don't they have the copies?
Yes, we have the copies.
Yes, that is the position of the court.
Yes,
that you should have come forward with prove your evidence with the one that you have and the one that you're disputing.
Right. The one we're disputing is the one that INEC certified. So we needed to see the INEC certified to be sure that what our agents are showing us is correct.
It is upon comparing the two that we're able to make a case and say, yes, this is consistent. Doesn't it make sense? The ones our agents have are duplicate copies. So sometimes it's not very clear. But when you get the INEC certified copy, then you can see whether it was not stamped, it was not signed, it was the number of when you deny that access. So we got that access, and it is based on that access after the petition has started that the expert witness made his case and was subpoenaed to come and tender it. And I don't want to quarrel with the judiciary on this. I think that it is their right to interpret the law as they deem fit. But my point is the wider issue of the disgrace that Nigeria suffers. The process of going to court, it looks to me like two institutions don't want our elections to go well. The first institution is INEC. INEC is a monumental disgrace. INEC is an organization that I'm ashamed of to associate as a Nigerian. Because the promises INEC made, the promises they made with Anambra election, the Ekiti election, the Osun election. I came on this year program and called for a third-party verification of the INEC system so that we're sure that on an election day, that what is going to happen that day will not lead to a glitch. On election day, INEC said there was a glitch. When they did a mock election, they did it only in 463 or so polling units. That INEC did not test this system for a large-scale election like it did. But despite not testing the system, it's a shame that INEC goes to court to question whether not complying with its regulations is a fact and doesn't make it a ground to cancel an election. What is important in Nigeria going forward is that we have elections, like I cited. Why do we want to be amongst the BRICS if we can't conduct a simple election? India, 900 million people, and they conducted. Indonesia, 190 million registered voters, and they conduct elections.
I mean, you imagine that from your summation, is that the election of 2023, the presidential election, was a sham.
Yeah, a joke. Yeah. Because let me tell you, the votings happened at the polling unit. There were people inferred that if we had seen the results from the polling unit and they went to collation and collated what we saw on the polling unit, I can bet you nobody will be in court. And it is possible President Tinubu will have won. It's possible.
So you don't believe in one?
So it's possible. But if you go by the allegations we made about the disparities in the election,
then he didn't win. Okay. So I'd like to ask you, do you believe in the 6.984520 million votes that Atiku got?
If I believe or not, will mean that I need to start substantiating them.
Yeah, so guys, this man said so many vital things that Nigerians would tend to agree with, because he said that INEC is like a disgrace to Nigeria as a country. And he pointed out that there are two institutions that don't really want Nigeria to grow. He mentioned INEC. Another institution he intended calling was, I believe, is the judiciary, because we saw that in this last judgment. INEC did what they did. This man, I watched him on Channels Television before the election. He was saying there should be a third party that will come to verify these machines that INEC brought in that they want to use to conduct the election. And nobody listened to him. That is why we are where we are today. Dr. Agbakuba, we all know him, he's a lawyer. He wrote to INEC. INEC explained the status of Abuja before the election. INEC didn't. And when Festus Okoye was asked, a question as related to that, he said it is his boss, the INEC chairman, that will answer that. So he was like dodging some of the questions so that it will not catch up on them after the election. And those are the things we saw, played out immediately after the election. Because for them to come and tell us that they've spent a lot of money in purchasing these gadgets and whatever that they intended using for the election, and then during the election, they ended up telling Nigerians that it was not possible for them to use the technology that they praised. Look at how many millions of persons that voted in India. 900 plus millions of persons voted in India. They didn't go to court. He mentioned Brazil, 100 and something million voted. They had their own machines. Nobody went to court. It's only Nigeria that didn't even get to any of those figures that went to court. And then our judges handed over to us the kind of judgment they gave us. Honestly, we've got to fix Nigeria. And that is one of the reasons why we keep speaking up, on this channel, telling our judiciary, telling our judges that Nigerians want to see a judiciary we all can be proud of, a judiciary we all can boast about, a judiciary we can stand out for. Anywhere, anytime, you can boast of your judiciary because you know the caliber of people you have there. And like I always say here, that our judges had the opportunity to shine during this judgment. But for me, they missed that opportunity because they would have delivered judgment without looking at anybody's face, And at the end of the day, the world will believe that Nigeria has a judicial system. Don't forget that yesterday we talked about Atiku and the Labour Party calling out the APC, that the judgment, the script, the papers that were handed over to them had the watermark of the legal team for Tinubu. And people keep asking, does it mean that this judgment was written somewhere, or is there any other thing that happened? They have to come and explain to Nigerians how come judgment that we are seeing all over the place has the watermark of no other party but the APC party. These are some of the things that we just pray that we'll get this opportunity of retiring our desperate politicians. We just have to retire them and put in people that are patriotic, people that really want Nigeria to glow on the world stage. Let Nigeria shine. We want real leaders that are patriotic. We want leaders that want to take Nigeria to a new height. This is what we want. We don't want people that are desperate for power. Grab it, snatch it, take it at all costs. We don't want that. We don't want that. They are happy that, yes, Tribunal upheld, Tinubu as the president of Nigeria. But look at the process. Look at how that judgment went. So many people have come out to condemn. You heard Mr. Chidi Okafor, Chidi even said it, that the way they were bombarding the petitioners as if it was wrong for them to have come to the court to seek for justice. You can't just, keep silent on the side of Tinubu, keep silent on the side of INEC that brought us to where we are today. And then you were just like pestering on the petitioners, saying that, oh, you think you can just mobilize people from the social media, you want to intimidate the judiciary and all that. So guys, yeah, this is the updates I have for you guys, and we look forward to the tribunal, the Supreme Court giving us justice. Let's just believe, that something good is going to come out from the Supreme Court. We can't just rule and say the Supreme Court is going to be the same as the tribunal. Let's believe that something good is going to come out from them, and because whatever they rule today is going to stand, as in it's going to stand forever. It's just going to be automatically part and parcel of our constitution, meaning that if INEC is allowed to go free without receiving any form of rebuke for, considering the way they conducted this election, INEC is now being celebrated, even though we saw everything that happened. Look at places like Rivers State. The person that was there as the governor is now the FCT minister. Oh my God. Somebody said Nigeria is the only place where people commit whatever they can commit, and then they are rewarded in political positions. And you can see it playing out. Honestly, if we were to be in a very sane environment, there are people that won't be able to come out. People like even the INEC chairman, he will hardly come out to the public. Look at what happened here in Rivers State. Somebody should be hiding somewhere and saying that, oh, I don't want to come out to the public. But you see, it is these same people that are being promoted. INEC now is going to Bayelsa State. Recently, INEC said they are going to use beavers in Bayelsa governorship election. And there was this outcry on Twitter. INEC coming again to make this promise again, we are going to use beavers. So we don't even know if we should start trusting INEC or not. And don't forget that before the election, people were like insinuating that INEC was not going to use these beavers. There won't be any transmission, electronical transmitted result, because people were sensing that they just want to use that to deceive us. But INEC chairman came out, regularly to tell people to debunk whatever news that is flying out there, debunk it, reject it, don't listen to them. There is no going back. The beavers, we are going to use it. The results will be transmitted electronically. There is no going back. Oh my God. You need to watch videos where the INEC chairman was speaking on all this. He made us to so much believe him. Myself, I was like, wow, this man just wants to use this last opportunity to build his integrity. That's how I felt. He wants to build his prestige, so that tomorrow, if he leaves that office, you will see the United Nations will pick him. You will see organizations who want to pick him. But with what has happened today, I think he should be struggling with, if at all he has any interest in politics or, to grow his career. For me, I think he will be struggling with that. So guys, we look forward to a better Nigeria. And I want to tell you guys that for those of you who have joined in this fight for a new Nigeria, Mr. Peter Obi will always say that if you are going to vote on that day, don't vote as if you are voting for Peter Obi. Vote as if you are voting for yourself. So if you are lending your voice out there, don't lend it as if it's for Peter Obi or it's for somebody. Do it as if you are building, you are speaking for yourself. You want a new Nigeria that you yourself as a person want to enjoy, a new Nigeria. You want to see it come live. Don't do it as if you are doing it for somebody. And that is why when we speak here, we speak passionately, not because we are supporting a particular candidate or because of tribe or religion, like people want to use all those things to pitch. But it's never on that basis. All I want is a new Nigeria. And we want a Nigeria where our leaders will be able to follow due process to get to the position they are vying for. We don't want all this forgery, and then you have certificates you cannot defend, and then INEC did something, nobody is there to rebuke INEC. I mean, nobody has come out, especially from the ruling party, or like the judiciary just handed us a judgment. They didn't come out hard on INEC so that INEC will learn its lesson. But with what was given to us as judgment, it means that INEC can just do anything at any time and it will go scot-free as a body. Nobody will penalize anybody. So guys, this is where we are today as a country. We look forward to that Nigeria of our dream. And we believe that God will help us. God is hearing our cry, like he did in the days of the children of Israel. When they were crying, it was as if God wasn't hearing, It was as if God was far from them. But when the time came, God said, oh, this is the time. It's your moment of liberation. And that was how God liberated them. We are hoping that our time for liberation has come, and God will, in one way or the other, give us that liberation that we are looking forward to. So guys, a new Nigeria is possible. Let's keep on the fight, because we know that it is possible. And I want you to believe that it is possible. Thank you all for being a part of this, my live session. I just want to quickly give you guys this update. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate your presence. I don't take it for granted. Please do me a favor, like this video so that YouTube can recommend it to others. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please, I ask you for that support now. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell for future uploads. With this, I want to say thank you very much for being a part of my live show. God bless you. Bye.